So I found something really juicy. And it has all to do with how Trump was behaving last night. As I felt like shit, little did I know, he probably felt a lot worse. A lot worse than all the people looking forward to a Biden victory like myself. It's a New York Times article. Boom. Fox's Arizona call for Biden flipped the mood at Trump headquarters. The Fox News decision left the president fuming and his team complaining. And yes, earlier today, I heard one of them complaining on Fox News about their call in Arizona. The Fox News decision left the president fuming and his team complaining. Then he began casting aspersions on other states' vote counts. So I already read like roughly half of this. Pretty juicy and pretty satisfying, considering the man that he is. So I'm just gonna breeze through like half of it. The second half, I'll start reacting. But I can make a brief reaction to the first half as I'm reading it. Right after I read it, I guess. I don't know. So let's get started. Here we have a picture of Trump ascending some stairs on his platform or whatever. President Trump early Wednesday morning before speaking to a crowd at the White House. Oh, this is his address in the early morning hours. When he claimed victory, supposedly, I guess. He basically attacked the election results as a fraud to the American public. Written by Annie Carney and Maggie Haberman. November 4th, 2020. And I can already tell you, well, this was written today, so I can't really tell you what time this was written, but I can tell you roughly the time when I can roughly tell you the time when Trump started going ape shit. Like, the ape that he is. Washington. With Florida looking red early on Tuesday night, President Trump and his advisors thought they were witnessing a repeat of election night 2016, when a victory in Florida foreshadowed a victory overall. Inside the East Room, the mood was upbeat as hundreds of people, including cabinet secretaries, ambassadors, and former officials who have remained loyal to Mr. Trump, mingled and dined on sliders and French fries. Funny, it's not McDonald's, but close enough. Officials who had been pessimistic about the president's re-election chances suddenly started to picture 4 more years in power. That mirage of victory was pierced when Fox News called Arizona for former Vice President Joseph R. Biden Jr. at 11:20 p.m. I would like to add Eastern Standard Time, so roughly 8:20 here in Nevada. With just 73% of the state's vote counted, Mr. Trump and his advisors erupted at the news. Erupted. It was true that Arizona was lost. It would call into doubt any claim of victory the president might be able to make. What ensued for Mr. Trump was a night of angry calls to Republican governors and advice from campaign aides that he ignored. Of course, it's what he does best, ignore the advice of people who know better than him. Leading to a middle-of-the-night presidential briefing in which he made a reckless and unsubstantiated string of remarks about the democratic process. That thing he's been trying to weaken. Standing in the East Room at 2:30 a.m. Yeah, it would have been 11:30 a.m. here. I missed it. I looked for an update from his camp. Nothing came out. I just went to bed. He dismissed the election as a fraud and claimed he wanted to stop the counting of votes and leave the results to the Supreme Court. The Trump campaign knew Arizona could be up for grabs. but the Fox News call, putting it in Mr. Biden's column, was symbolic, making it the first state that appeared to have flipped from the president's 2016 batch of winning states. Governor Doug Ducey, Republican of Arizona, had been on the phone all night with administration officials and campaign staff members. I think he recognized the significance of what was going on last night, adamant that there were still Republican votes to be counted in the state. Here we have a picture. Voters lined up in Guadalupe, Arizona on Tuesday. Keeping Arizona in play was critical to the Trump campaign's narrowing path to victory. Here we go. Jason Miller, Mr. Trump's political advisor, disputed the accuracy of the call on Twitter. On Twitter. Everything's done by Twitter now, I guess. And frantically called Fox News, asking, I'm sure very politely, asking the network to retract it. He was unsuccessful. Instead of retracting it, the decision desk at Fox News doubled down on the call, putting Arnon Mishkin, the head of the desk, on air to defend the call. I was trying to look for that video on YouTube of this exact kind of thing happening, them making the call